Before I get into this video too far, I'd like to say thank you to those who have signed up for SWAGBUCKS.com since I started promoting their website on my channel. You guys have been a greater help than you know, and if you haven't yet signed up, I highly advise you do. SWAGBUCKS is an awesome website where you take surveys, do searches, and in some cases play games, and you win SWAGBUCKS, which you can exchange for gift cards for real places. I've been using it for a long time. At the end of the video, I'll explain how I use it, how I've been so successful with it, and what you guys need to do. But for now, if you're interested, please go to the link in the description or in the pinned comment, sign up and verify your email address, and you will help me out. I will appreciate it greatly. I hope you enjoy the video. Check out this new noise. Figures it wouldn't do it when it's on camera. Nothing. Alright, well, sorry for the angle as usual. I don't have anything to mount my camera to in my car. I also don't have a camera, I'm using my phone. But I haven't made a video in a while, and I just wanted to let you guys know that everything's all good. I just have been busy with Thanksgiving and house sitting. I haven't got a lot done. I was gonna put the new top on my Miata yesterday, but we had a new guy not show up for work, his first shift. I had to stay in cover for him. By the time I got home, it was dark. And honestly, I'm kind of dragging my heels on changing the top anyway, because I've heard it's not fun. But we'll get there, hopefully tomorrow. At any rate, I thought I'd make this video. Coming from inside the Miata, driving it, letting you guys know. I keep getting a lot of questions about the lift kit, the effects it has on the car, whether or not it's worth it, if it's a good idea. And the most commonly asked thing is, how does it drive afterwards? And I feel like it goes without saying, it doesn't drive as well as it did without the lift kit on it. Obviously, you're not going to be throwing it into corners as hard, or hard at all, I'd recommend, if you lift yours. That being said, it's still super smooth. It's still just, you know, it's a Miata. It's still the same suspension. You've affected the geometry a little bit, which is going to be the biggest issue. But it's still the same suspension. It's still the same weight distribution. It's still a Miata. So it's smooth. It's pre-planted. You go where you need to go. And that's the added benefit, obviously, of the lift kit, is you really can go where you need to go. You climb up curbs in this thing at this point. Go over speed bumps without my eBay lip dragging. Leave parking lots without my eBay lip dragging, which I'm taking off for the winter too, by the way. But yeah, the lift kit definitely has its benefits and its drawbacks. But just to get out of the way, how it drives and how it handles is not that much different. It's a weird feeling the first time you get in and out of it, because you're so used to the stock ride height, or I know a lot of people are lowered. It's a weird transition, but you get used to it quick. And it was a weird feeling. I was driving to work and I was next to a Jeep Wrangler, and our hoods were like the same height. And that is one thing that caught me by surprise. You know, a 3-inch suspension lift, you don't think much of 3 inches, but once it's lifted, like, it's ridiculous. It's up there. So it's definitely, I'd say, be prepared for it to be higher up than you thought it was going to be, because that was definitely the case for me. A little more body roll. That's one thing I did not really expect. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but it's just like, nobody really talks about it when they talk about lifting their Miata. But obviously, if you think about it for a second, you can't connect your sway bar end links. They're going to be about 3 inches too short. Go figure. So you do get a little more body roll action than you would just stock. The sway bars on a Miata are pretty thin and pointless anyway. I mean, I'm sure they do their thing, but they don't seem that effective to me. Anyway, you could get extended sway bar end links, which I do recommend doing if you are going to leave it lifted. But mine is only being lifted for the winter, so I just left the sway bars disconnected. We folded the sway bar up in the front, forward and up, and zip tied it out of the way. The back one is not getting in the way. There's no steering back there, so it's good. There's a couple bigger issues that come up with lifting it. I'll explain it to you when I get home here in a second, and I'll cut to me doing that right now. Alright guys, this scene should look familiar if you watched the reason I bought a Mazda Miata video. I like this platform. Like one user commented, it's just sitting back there like looking surprised that I'm saying such nice things about it. It's playing in the mud today. I need to hurry up though. The sun sets in like 15 minutes and I need to get through what I'm trying to get through. Try and get my point across here. So, if you're going to lift your Miata, there's some things you should know other than the handling and the driving. Obviously, it's fair to assume that it's not going to handle the same as it did previously. There are a couple other things that not a lot of people have mentioned or brought up in YouTube videos. Like for one, the sway bar end links that I just told you about. I had never known that was a thing until I read the Flying Miata instructions that said remove or disconnect. Or leave them disconnected or remove them. But at any rate, my first piece of advice if you're going to lift your Miata is buy new ball joints, because one, yours are probably blown unless you just did them, but two, you need extended ball joints. And I believe Flying Miata sells them, or maybe Payco Motorsports, I'm not sure. I don't know how much they are, but in my case, O'Reilly was only able to get one ball joint for me, and it was gonna be the next day, so I had to get that one. And then they couldn't get another one until Tuesday. I had work on Monday, so I had to go to AutoZone and pay $70 for another one. So if you're paying 90 bucks or less, you're doing good, because you did better than I did. But we'll get back to the ball joints here in a second, because that segues into my next statement. You 100% are going to need an alignment. Don't try and eyeball it. Don't just be like, oh, that's close enough. If you look at the picture I took, I think I put it on Snapchat and I saved it. If I did, I'll put it in the shot right here. You can see just how bad the front camber was on that car when I finished the lift kit install. It was really bad. In fact, I have a piece of paper to prove it. Let's see. I'll take a picture of this, put it over the screen while I'm reading this to you. The front right had positive 2.3 degrees and the front left had positive 2.1 degrees. That is insane. That is way too much. It looked stupid. The toe was pretty bad as well. We had 0.85 degrees on the right and 0.85 degrees on the left. Not spectacular. Those are both within spec now, 0.14 and 0.15 degrees. The reason you need the lower ball joints though is mine fixed to the best of their capability. The front right is positive 1.2 degrees of camber and the front left is positive 1.6 degrees of camber. That is 100% maxed out on the camber setting. You need extended ball joints. So chalk that up to the expenses list. Yeah, don't do it yourself. If we're putting stuff on the expenses list, throw an alignment on there. Let's move on to the back. The back camber was not an issue. I was at, I'm gonna put a picture of this one too because it kind of swapped. Beforehand, my rear left was at -1 degree camber, stance life, but now it's at -0.5 degrees. However, before, the rear right was at -0.5 degrees and is now at -1. Don't know the explanation for that one. But the big problem was the toe in on the rear. It was disgusting. You could see it in the last video. I will put that up in the corner, whichever side that goes on. The rear left had 0.92 toe in and 1.1 toe in on the right. It was bad. You could see it very clearly, and that thing was all over the road. It was not a joy to drive, even slightly. You guys probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. I do have some advice for you. If you are going to lift your Miata and change the ride height consistently like I am, do what I didn't do because I didn't know about it until it was too late. Get a Firestone lifetime alignment. And that you pay, I think it's 190 bucks for my Miata, and you get like unlimited alignments from Firestone as long as you own the car. Their website says every 6,000 miles or whenever you need it. So you could lift it for the winter. Springtime comes, slam it to the ground, hate it, put it back to stock, get alignment every time, and it's covered. You've basically just paid off because I paid $100 for one alignment at Les Schwab, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, this hoodie's really dirty. Sorry. I'm house sitting for a friend and dog sitting, and their dog gets hair all over everything and muddy paw prints. Someone commented about this hoodie. Do you guys want them? Because I can put them up for sale. I like it. Nice paint splatter, cursed forever. It's a good time. Yeah, the alignment was definitely the biggest drawback to the lift kit. Another, obviously, is the inherent fear that you're going to flip your car over. If you have a roll bar, you'll probably be way more comfortable with it than I am. It's not that bad. I'm still only on 13s. Oh, that's another thing. Your stock wheels will not clear the back anymore. You need spacers. Lifting the suspension up that high puts the bottom of the strut, or where the spring seats, right where your tire needs to go. So you need wheel spacers. That's why I have Honda wheels on the back of it right now, because I have not ordered 4x100 spacers yet, so I can run all four of my 13-inch snow tires. Overall, I don't think it's a bad idea to lift your Miata, and it's fun. Look at it. It's like I call it the Meonster. Payco Motorsports calls them the Off-Roadster. I like Meonster better, but it's probably because I came up with it. It's very fun. I highly recommend you do it if you're thinking about it, but just be prepared to pay for a lot more than just the cost of the lift kit. But other than that, there's not a lot of drawbacks. It's just fun, and it's definitely going to be beneficial to me in the winter, especially if it's like it was last year. Because last year we had several nights where we got 12, 14 inches overnight, which is very unusual for Idaho, but very bad in our case. Everyone was getting stuck everywhere all the time. I had to keep borrowing my parents' Ford Excursion so I could go pull my friends out of the snow. So I've been pretty busy over the holidays and haven't had a lot of opportunity to shoot videos. Like I said, I'm going to try and put the new top on it tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully okay. Garrett said I could borrow his hard top if I need to for work, but I put in the little SWAGBUCKS advertisement thing at the beginning of the video. I really appreciate you guys that have signed up thus far. Please go ahead and click that link. All you need to do is sign up, verify your email address, and you've done what I need you to do. But I definitely advise that you keep using that website. Like I said, I've been using it since forever ago, and it's been great to me. It's legit. It's not a scam. I'm sure YouTube would have something to say about them sponsoring videos if it was a scam. It isn't. It's just a fun website. You take surveys, you play games. What I did was change my Google Chrome homepage to SWAGBUCKS, and I used that to search everything. Instead of typing in a URL, I type the URL into the SWAGBUCKS search bar, and I go back like an hour. Whenever I'm thinking about it, I go back once an hour and just search a few things until I land a SWAGBUCK or two, or sometimes like 50, and I go from there. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I enjoyed making it, as always. It's fun to play with the Miata. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and follow me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat at BigB1011, and don't forget to submit your entries for Car of the Video to curseforeverhelp@gmail.com. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.